Flosstube. It's Lisa here from the Shady Tree Stitches, and thanks for joining me for my weekly catch up about my cross stitching journey. So if you are new, I do say welcome. Hopefully you liked what you see. My Flosstubes are pretty much all about vlogging my progress, and you get to see lots of stitching. I don't do a lot of life stuff. I just like to get to the crunch. Now, I am filming today back in my bedroom because it's a moldy old day, and I've left the curtains open so you can see it, because I realize that many of you guys have, very little idea of where each other live. So this is actually a lovely view out the front of my house to my street, and we live in a cul-de-sac, and so that's our nearest neighbor over there, which is great. And then you can see around that there's not much happening. Up there is actually a main highway, so you can hear a little bit of traffic noise from it. There's a truck going by, but there's still a house to be built there across the road, and that will deaden a bit of the sound. We've been here for heading towards a year, about 9 months, so really need to pull my finger out and finish unpacking, but that's okay. I got my craft stash out, and that really was all that I cared about. No, not totally, but that was what I was really searching for. All right, so it hasn't quite been a week since you last saw me, since it is Monday the 15th of March, but it's the start of a new week, and it's going to be a busy stitching week. There's lots of things happening in the groups, and surprise, surprise, I joined a new group. Hopefully this one looks like it might actually be a good one, and a lot of my stitching has related to the groups that I'm in, so we'll get to that as we're talking. I only have stitching today, so it'll probably be a short one. All 4 of my pets are in the room with me, so may make an appearance, who knows. So sit back for a little while and see the progress, because March Mayhem has had me working on some different things. So first up, I'm going to stick with the zombie run pieces. I have actually finished my round of zombie run for March. I've also finished all my March homework prompts for the daily 30. So I have nothing else specific to do for the month, which is really, really good. So that gives me a chance to do another zombie run. So I'm working on my Little House Neighborhood by Little House, and this one I'm working on because it's a piece I'm doing with Jenny. So stitching on this one for my zombie run, and since I have seen you guys, so last week it looked like this. I need to remember to do that. You'd think after a year and a half of doing Flosstubes I'd remember what to do. So I have done about another 1,100 so on it. Now you can't see it all there, but I have actually come all the way down the border on one of the sides, this side I think, and then I'm now working across to the last house, and I've done all the border at the bottom too. You really can't see what the Q-snap is, but that's where we're up to. So there is only a fence and a tree here, and then the fence tree and that tree, and finishing this house, and a couple of words at the bottom to go. So this is getting really close. So I'm going to keep this in my zombie run for this month, and it should, if I focus on this one as my main focus again this month, I'd say it'll be done, and then I can swap it out for something else, which will be wonderful. Okay, my other zombie run piece that I have worked on since I saw you was my Amazing Animal Kingdom. I'm not sure you'll see the difference in this one, so I'm just going to show it up, but I've actually been filling in all this part in here, and I'm doing a bit of a color completion over these couple of pages. So I'm working my way down here, sort of trying to fill in this middle bit and then work my way down. My idea is to go down all 4 shelves, and then I can go across as I like. I'm enjoying doing this on 11 by 17 because I get to see more of it. So the new corner clamp for the Lowry really makes it work well. There you go. There's my Flosstube yarn. Comes every time. So yeah, you can see that there's not too much left for me to fill in on that bird. It's just a couple of random little stitches and a bit on the flowers. As you already know, all of that's done up there. So working our way down, it's filling in more of the shelf and a couple of the books. So really, really excited. I'm so enjoying the full coverages. So I might go there next. Working for March Mayhem, my pieces, as you know, were picked by my Aussie Zoom friends, and anyone who is interested in chatting with us, then please contact me. We have a little Aussie group that gets together most nights, so give me a buzz and I will let you know when we're next getting together. Alright, so 2 of the pieces were full coverage, and I did these yesterday. I only did 300 on each. But I'll show you before and afters. My Artisty Christmas house, the pattern looks like this. Christmas house number 2. Reason why I think I've been not enjoying this one as much is because I started this one in the middle. All my full covers are I'm doing a different way to see what I like doing now that I know I like them. So previously it looked like this, and then what I discovered last night when I was stitching it is if I work on the browns and purples to do the frame of the house, that's going to make me a scaffold, and then I'll be able to do it as one of the colour completion ones. But I can't go crazy scaffold because I made the mistake of washing this fabric and all the grid lines, you can sort of just see them, but the grid lines came out, so it will be yeah, it will be great. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing this progress. And now that I've got out of the white, that's why I wasn't enjoying it, because a lot of this pattern is white, and white on white is horrible. But if I can get the other colours in, then I think the white will look good. So that's what 300 stitches on Christmas House 2 by Artisty looks like. Sorry, it's folding up as I go because the kitties are around, and kitties are known to jump on things, especially when they're wrestling, and make holes in them. Now the other one is the Reader's Paradise, which looks like this. And previously it looked like this. Now this piece is quite big, and this is where I'm up to. And you'll notice I have a teensy-weensy border because this piece of fabric is as big as I could get it on 18 count. But it's looking really good, and I'm doing this one diagonally. So this one I'm actually doing is a pretty much a proper diagonal, but I just can't stand leaving those couple of ninjas. I don't like having the threads hanging, but I'm going to give it a go at the diagonal, filling it in with a bit of finishing the thread off if there's anything nearby. Now I had a good suggestion from this one. I'm going to finish as a quilt anyway. So I had a suggestion from my friends last night. Maybe I should get the fabric and actually sew it on now on the edge so that it actually can go in the Q-snap. But I must say the corner clamp again is really good, because I had all this in a Q-snap to hold it together, clamped onto the corner clamp, and then I just had this part free to stitch by hand. So yeah, it was quite an easy way to do it, but it's a lot slower. So they were my 2 full coverages that I worked on this week for Mayhem. Okay, now when you last saw me, I was working on Anzac. So Anzac I was working on because I was doing a battle in Crystal Academy. Unfortunately we lost. I must commend the Karakara group for being rock, paper, scissors queens. They won 3 out of 5 battles. So I'm working down in this corner on Anzac. And the good thing today with them not actually being on a Q-snap is that you get to actually get a good look at how it's all progressing. So this is where I'm up to. So it's really starting to look pretty cool. And I forgot to give you the before photo, but anyway. So during this week, I was filling in this sort of area here. I just want to go up now and get to the top and just work my way across. Nothing too fancy. I don't want to go jumping around, because that's when you make mistakes, and we all know I've already done mistakes with this. But I'm really, really happy with how this is looking with the Silks For You variegated on the deep brown. Really happy with that. So yeah, I don't know when Anzac's next going to get a look. I'll pop it away for a little while now. It really all depend on challenges and things, because for March I do want to finish. Okay, so the next lot of stitching I did was all for March Mayhem, and it was all pretty much done over the weekend. About 200, 300 stitches on each. My Fairy Tale Village by Abras Arts, which is my largest whip, and these were I was able to finish off my monthlies before, which is good. Now this one, as you know, takes forever to unravel, but fortunately I actually folded it remotely right in the first place. So previously it looked like this, and I'm working on the middle house, and it's really starting to look like a house now. I'm loving this. It's a really nice pattern once you can see the difference between the blue and the black. So yeah, it's really good. All right. So yeah, that one's making some good progress. It also made me work on pieces that I haven't worked on for a long time. They picked a few, and one of them is this one. Now this one is, I'm again really liking the piece, the way it's looking. Wonderful embroidery, and it's last year's sale. So I've just worked on this middle box, and I worked out what my problem was. It last year when it was being released, a bit at a time, they just divided it page by page, so it was cutting off, you know, come down here in squares. My brain can't work like that. I like to do the motif. I needed to know that I had this box right, then I could fill it in. So I think I'm going to enjoy stitching on that more now. So yeah, 300 stitches on that. And as I said, I was just doing, that was my part of a sale, just doing the ones I could to finish off the monthlies. Then weeklies as well. I got all of this week's daily 30 finished before anything else has even been released. So something I would find in a Mirage, I decided I would like to find some cake in the Mirage. So previously my Brooks Books March cake looked like this, and I did quite a lot on it, and now it looks like that. It looks like a cake. A lot of white stitching, but it's nearly done. Just got to finish off the flowers at the top and put the candle on, and then March will be done. So that's really cool. Then I get to decide which one I move on to next. Obviously something either side or below it. I'm not going to go jumping too far. And I worked on my Blueberry Homecoming. Something to do with love, because all those family pet members love each other and are working together to harvest the family harvest. So I took the easy option with this one, and I was working on the fence of the house. Now it looks to me like some crazy cartoon dog or something with glasses at the moment, don't you think? But I'm sure it'll look good when I do some more on it. So coming off the top of that quilt, it's just nice to be able to touch all these different ones. For No New Starts, we do have a check-in date coming up at the end of this month, so it's going to be interesting to see how many I have touched or how many I haven't touched. And then obviously they'll be a priority for the next bit. And the last one I think that I worked on was Silkwood Manor. Now this is one of those pieces that is very deceptive. It looks huge in the pattern. I look at that and I go, whoa, what a major, major, major huge piece. You know, there's a huge house, there's lots of gardens. And I'm not saying it won't have quite a bit of work in it, because it's a just man. But the actual size of the house is not going to be that huge, because that's like one story already. So it's not nearly as scary as I was thinking. there you go. I have some bricks and a door. So that is pretty much all that I stitched. So as I said, it got me caught up to date. I'm feeling so much better. It's the middle of the month and I'm already ahead of where I want to be. It happens so far every month. I go stressed out at the beginning. It's like, oh, I've got so much to do. Now there's always monsters to catch for magical stitches, and I've been catching them along the way too. I also need to get my finger out and finish my model stitch today. So that's what I'm going to go and do now after I get this video up. As I said, I haven't had any haul since I saw Jenny. No, I think not. I think that was the last bit of haul I saw. There's a new group, and the new group is called Dragon Dynasty, and it's created by someone who's associated with Crystal and Semi-Sane. Pretty cool. She actually created as part of a university degree. That's pretty funky. So it's sort of a Crystal meets Myth and Magic meets Semi-Sane storytelling one. A bit like Dungeons and Dragons with stitching, and it's super cool because I'm in a group with a whole bunch of people that I've met online and we get on really well. So we are just embarking on our quest to discover what we need to discover around the kingdom, but again, giving us focus. I like to have that challenge. I like that interaction. I like that bit of competition. It really works for me. I don't do so well with the smaller stitch things. I tried to do them Semi-Sane master stitch, which is different colors for 100 stitches, and like that's cool, but I just can't do 100 stitches and then take a photo. I like to get down and just do a couple of hundred. So I like the bigger projects. But this week's going to be a big week for No New Starts challenges, because we've got the rolling over of the birthday sale happening tomorrow. So I need to make sure I post my last birthday sale, and then we've got Scrabble coming up later in the week, and then next Sunday is the rollover from Pisces to Aries. So I need to make sure I finish all my work on those too. I just realized that it was actually our second floss anniversary last week when Jenny and I were chatting, and we should have done a giveaway, but we were not really thinking of it. I don't know why I had middle of March in my mind. But yeah, so I've been doing Flosstubes for 2 full years now, so we're into our 3rd season, and we will have a giveaway next week to celebrate. So you can look forward to that, and I will come up with some lovely things to thank you for being a returning subscriber. Really do appreciate it. Hoping to get to, I have a goal of 1,000, because when I started this it was just to vlog my progress, and I'm really liking doing that, but I also appreciate that people want to watch and see the progress, and I just have that number in my head, because that means that I can do different things like go live and just make life a bit easier, particularly for the homework videos. Alright, well that's it from me. You have a wonderful week stitching, and if you want to know more detailed plans, then check out the homework video later. Thanks for joining me. Bye.